Our next bout of the evening is an advanced Muay Thai kickboxing bout and is a catch weight at 160 pounds, brought to you by Sprint PCS. First, please welcome to the cage, Anthony Grosso.
Anthony Grosso coming to us from one of the best teams. It's American Top Team in Asheville. And the thing about that is a lot of grappling and wrestling down there, but you got to think these guys are well-rounded, and Grosso's looking to round out his game here tonight.
Very, very well-rounded. This is a full-on mixed martial arts team, and these guys come prepared to do all factions of combat sports. And we're going to see that here tonight. Now, we've obviously not seen Anthony Grosso in action previously, but he comes very, very highly regarded, and he's going to be in deep against Creighton Shivell. I've heard a lot about this kid. Of course, we've seen him in action in mixed martial arts competition. We've seen him back in the day in kickboxing, but it's been a while, but I've heard he's improved tremendously.
And we see Grosso make his way to the cage. Creighton Shivell makes his way next back to Jennifer Oxendine.
And his opponent making his way to the cage, please welcome Creighton Shivell.
From right down the road in Kingsport, Bushido MMA, Creighton Shivell, a guy I can admit I have trained some with in the past, a guy who's long, lanky, and really, I've never seen a guy with that kind of range have that kind of speed as well at such a young age.
Well, you're long and lanky too, so how does it play out? I mean, were you able to get inside it all? I mean, how's it?
The thing about Creighton is the way he uses his footwork. That has been the biggest improvement. The way he didn't start out striking, he started out learning the movement. And since then, he's hard to hit. If you do get inside on him, he's got head movement, he's got foot movement, he can turn the corner on you. And Creighton Shivell, a guy who I know has such good footwork, I think a lot of guys think he should stick to kickboxing and maybe put MMA on the back burner. Creighton Shivell, long, lanky, but he's got some power. But as you mentioned, he has had a little bit of a layoff. Still a young guy in school, working through things, but here tonight makes his return. But this is without question, and I don't think there's any question, his toughest test to date.
Yeah, undoubtedly, and as you mentioned before, American Top Team in Asheville, again, nothing to scoff at. They prepare well.
And Anthony Grosso likely preparing for an MMA future tonight. Looks to get things going. Kickboxing, Muay Thai action here against Creighton Shivell. Your introductions with Jennifer Oxendine.
This bout is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds. First, fighting out of the Intimate Treasures red corner, he weighed in at 161 pounds. Fights out of American Top Team in Asheville, North Carolina. And tonight he is making his Muay Thai kickboxing debut, Anthony Grosso. And his opponent across the cage to my right, fighting out of the TSI Diesel blue corner. He weighed in at 161 pounds, holds an undefeated record of 1 win with 0 losses, and fights out of Bushido MMA in Kingsport, Tennessee, Creighton Shivell. Your referee when the action begins is Jimmy Nealon.
Grosso Shivell, your featured Muay Thai fight of the night before we go all MMA to close the show here. Cage fights at the Cowboy. What a night it has been, and I really don't think it's slowing down anytime soon, and we're off and running here. Shivell versus Grosso.
Grosso
nice.
Getting on the inside early.
And that's what Grosso's to do. Creighton's very long and rangy, though Grosso looks like he's got a pretty nice range, wingspan as well.
Beautiful kick there. The first kick from Creighton Shivell.
Creighton Shivell's got a very nice back range uppercut he'll throw when he's pressured. Nice
stiff
cross.
Left by Grosso.
Yeah. Goes low there with that inside leg kick. Grosso, as we talked about the gym, is an MMA gym, very well versed down in American Top Team in Asheville. In the main event, we'll see more.
Now you've got Grosso who is standing the southpaw. That may be something that tricks up Creighton at the beginning there.
Nice hard hook from Creighton. It's something we've seen tonight. He's stepped in with the knee. We've seen a lot of clinch knees. He's using the knee without the clinch there. And nice 1-2 from Shivell. Grosso moving and throwing hard. That's hard.
Oh, here we go.
And now they clinch up. It was a brawl to start out, and both teams probably want to slow things down just a bit and work a little bit more technical and not lose everything here in the first 2 minutes.
You know, the clinch work is very touchy as well. You never know what can come of it, because if you're not conditioned to do it, if you're a conditioned kickboxer but not for the clinch, it can take the wind out of your sails.
And one thing to point out, Grosso, a little bit more of a body area that can make his body shots a
stiff
little
left
more
hand
vicious.
right there by Grosso. Creighton Shivell fires back. One thing I'm not seeing from Shivell is the range, though. He is, he's content to close in. I think if he were able to use the footwork and stay on the outside, he may have a little more success, but Grosso is really tolling forward.
Good range on that leg kick. Creighton gets knocked back just a little bit with the hook, goes to the body, tries to spin, almost a spinning knee. That body shot lands. Creighton walking him down here, but as Casey mentioned, the range not been a factor so far, staying in boxing range with Grosso. And so far, this has been a back and forth brawl style, maybe not what Shivell's corner wanted.
What a brawl.
As a brawl ensued with Grosso, and Grosso kind of won the brawl exchanges. So a good first round from both men. More of the same tonight. Every fight we've had has been a show for the fans, and more of the same. Both guys going back and forth and fun head-to-head combat
Tony,
action.
who do you give this one to?
I think really Grosso won that first round. He threw some harder punches. It looked like even though Creighton was doing the movement, because the range was not there and none of his shots really landed as hard as it looked like Grosso did.
I think it was very close. I think that like you mentioned here, if Creighton were to get that range, because Grosso is just being like a bull. You know, he's the Jake LaMotta. So Creighton Shivell, he has to be the Sugar Ray and keep moving and stay on the outside. But like you said, Creighton's willing to swing in and close that range. But when he does, Grosso's ready for it, plus the southpaw trick.
Grosso looks like he's also throwing the hook almost to figure out his range, something we see a lot of guys do with the jab. He's throwing the hook and then coming back with another punch, and a lot of that's landing on Shivell. We'll see if Shivell mixes up his kick game maybe to find his range a little bit better here in the second round, as the boxing exchanges were going, I think, towards Grosso in that first round. We'll see if the tie gets mixed in as well. Only one tie exchange in that first round as well. Second round between Grosso and Shivell, our final tie fight of the night, and we're off and running the advanced tie rules. You see neither guy in the headgear, having a little bit of fun here tonight at Cage Fights at the Cowboy in Johnson City.
Yeah, Grosso on the inside, making it dirty. Shivell trying to fire back here, but again, he closes distance again and gets back inside. Now those knees are starting to land.
And he's throwing him a little bit off to the side, something we've not seen a lot of guys do here tonight. That one comes right up the middle.
Now go straight back.
Oh, and Grosso, he gets out of the pocket for the first time, backing up, but now totally forward, stiff left.
Throws that 1-1-2 right down the pipe. Shivell counters with a straight of his own. He thought about going back to the plum clinch, but now up against the cage, and they separate. Nice to the body there, the knee by Shivell. In almost a takedown position.
Yeah, double leg.
Set him up. We'll see some of that here in our next few fights. And a slit there as Shivell throws that body kick. Shivell's last MMA fight actually ended with an injury as a guy rushed him and hurt his foot. So it's been a while since Shivell's ever been in a brawl. I think this might even be the first time he's been in this kind of setting where a guy is just literally coming at him nonstop.
Yeah, very exciting, competitive bout here.
Nice shot there on the break. That might have hurt him a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And Casey, as you mentioned earlier, there's such a big difference not having the headgear.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only for the fans, but especially for the fighters.
I think we've seen that in the last couple fights as well.
And particularly where cuts are concerned.
Right.
Oh, stiff left there
advanced
by Grosso.
No elbows or knees to the head here in these fights. And again, pushed up against the fence here is Shivell. Grosso working here. That step kick,
again, you see Grosso backing out just a little bit. You see the fatigue setting in, perhaps.
Step knee again here from Creighton, one of his go-to moves in this fight. In this round, much harder to judge. Little blood coming out of the nose of Shivell, and that is the end of round two.
I may lean towards Shivell. He looked a lot better, but then again, Grosso, so much pressure. He continued to go forward. All the big moments of Creighton Shivell, Grosso absorbed and continued to walk forward. So how much did those really score? But for the sake of argument and make this thing fun, let's go, it's one apiece.
I like it that way too. Creighton's throwing that step knee a lot, which is an interesting technique, but being the taller fighter, are you a fan of that? Because, I mean, you have to close the distance.
Got to close the distance, and a lot of the moves that Shivell is using, he's having to close the distance or choosing to close the distance when he has so many tools on the outside he could be utilizing and making it an easier night.
I'm very shocked we've not seen more head kicks from Shivell, one of his favorite techniques, but tonight looks like he's going all tie, and he's worked some of his body kicks and low kicks, but a lot of those stepping knees, but that's actually put him in boxing range, and I still think in this fight, most of the boxing exchanges have went to Grosso.
Very competitive fight, very exciting. It's something you really, if you want to look at what amateur Muay Thai is, this really stands out because you're seeing a little bit of everything, completely contrasting styles. You're seeing it on the outside, on the inside, everything you could ever want in a striking battle.
I always thought there's such a big difference in making your debut, but also having your first good fight. And I think this is what this is for both guys as we're into round number 3 here, and maybe everything on the line in this round.
Well, you see Grosso, he's not necessarily closing too quick, but I don't know that he ever has. I think Creighton Shivell did the work for him a little bit in the earlier rounds. Maybe he's going to be content to be on the outside.
Maybe try to set up a counter punch, knowing that Shivell may think he needs to win this fight in this round. Shivell, though, does look a little bit winded. Nice straight there from Grosso. And both guys, you can tell, a little bit slower this round. Clinched up here, knee to the body from Grosso. That one might have hurt Shivell a little bit. We're up against the fence. Shivell throws a knee with his back against the fence. I think that one may have landed to the temple, to the head.
The knee?
Okay. I think it might have.
I couldn't tell by this from this.
I think as Shivell went to break, he brought his head down. We'll see if we can get a replay here of that. Stepped in. Oh, it looks like he might have tried a teep kick
and
as
then
they were bent down.
Leaned into it, so it was inadvertent.
So we see here again on the replay, and it just grazed him, but enough to catch you off guard. And there you see, yep. Again, not intentional.
Do we have a cut?
Doctor is in the cage to check things out. I think if we had a cut, we'd be able to see it because it looks like it landed right there on his hairline. I think Doctor maybe just mandatory checking here. Amateur fights want to keep all these guys safe. All these guys, youngsters, have bright futures. It looks like Creighton's ready to go, so is Grosso. We'll get this action back underway. Still, maybe everything to fight for here in this last minute. Ooh, nice combo from Grosso. Nice leg kick. Grosso pushes
Grosso really
forward.
coming on, looking for a finish here.
Throws that kick, turns Shivell around a little bit and went to the arm. Shivell, though, might need a late fury here to win this fight. Inside on the clinch here, Jimmy Neely will separate them quickly. Shivell here, stepping knee.
Nice knee there by Creighton Shivell, but as you mentioned before, closing that distance.
Almost got him in trouble there with some of the boxing exchanges. Last few seconds of the fight here. Shivell may need to do something big here. He steps in, tried that uppercut to the body. See who wants it more here in these last few seconds. Knee to the body from Shivell. Nice hook on the break by Grosso. Low kick by Grosso. High kick, there's one from Shivell. Uppercut, followed by a hook. The guys both fighting for it. Body kick, nice punch and kick combo from Grosso.
Grosso very, very tenacious here.
That could be enough to win him this fight. Final 10 seconds. Body kick from Shivell, but it's Grosso who's going to lead, or in this fight rather, in the dominant position up against the cage, throwing the strikes. Both guys left it all in the cage. A great fight for both Creighton Shivell and Anthony Grosso. And Anthony Grosso a little bit more aggressive in that third round, and I think the first round as well. And Grosso may be leaving here and heading back to Asheville with a win.
Very good fight, though. Very entertaining for the fans, and I think a growing experience for both of these guys. Regardless of who wins it, it's going to be a next step in their career. I mean, you can have a war like this in your first fight and your third fight, then it's all downhill.
Right. And for Shivell, still very young, still rounding out his game, and it's always good to get in here and have that first nice brawl. Taking on Anthony Grosso. Don't forget, coming up after this, we will finish up your card with our final 4 MMA fights of the night. Diego Bautista and Hunter Thomas. We have Caleb Langford, Jared Short, Greg Hopkins, Paco Maris, and your main event between Jordan Owensby and Lance Abbott. That fight for the title. Hopkins, Maris for the welterweight title here tonight as well. Jennifer Oxendine makes her way to the cage. A great fight between two very talented men. And the decision is in. And in the cage is Jennifer Oxendine with your official decision.
After 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to your judges' scorecard for decision. All 3 judges scored this fight in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the Intimate Treasures red corner, Anthony Grosso.
Anthony, man, what a fight here. Against Creighton Shivell, a guy who is known for his footwork, working on the outside. You put the pressure on, you kept it on, and you used that southpaw pressure to win this fight. Talk about it.
Yeah, I trained a lot on moving to my right side and setting up my straight left hand. I've always had hard kicks, so I just tried to land my round kick to keep me on the outside, and I got kind of tired, but I did something different this camp. I did a lot of swimming instead of running, so I made it through. But he's a good, tough fighter. Shout out to him. Thank you. It was a pleasure fighting you.
Well, Anthony, what is next, man? You trained out a very tough camp, American top team there in Asheville. You're just over the mountain, but the name speaks for itself. You really came out well groomed. What's next?
You know, I'm not really sure right now what I want to do. I'm just ready to get back to the gym and maybe do some jiu-jitsu with my instructor Butch, and maybe keep doing some striking with Chris. Got to give a shout out to Chris. Thank you.
All right, one more time for your winner, Anthony Grosso.